We begin this half hour in Augusta, where legislators returned to work in the midst of what could be a legal showdown between Governor Janet Mills and President Donald Trump. On Friday, the president told the governor he would withhold federal funds to Maine if the state continues to defy his executive order barring transgender athletes from competing in women's and girls' sports. Today, Attorney General Aaron Frey spoke with our Donovan Lynch about what happens next.
In Augusta, the Mills administration locked in conflict with the White House.
I'm going to be following the law that's been passed by Congress. I'm going to be following the law that's been passed by the legislature here in Maine.
What began as Maine's resistance to an executive order from Washington banning transgender athletes in women's and girls' sports led to a testy exchange between Governor Mills and President Trump as he threatened to withhold federal funding until the state falls in line.
Every state, good, I'll see you in court.
Maine's Attorney General Aaron Frey arguing the Constitution makes it clear that freezing federal funds is a power held by Congress, not the president. He's fighting the White House in the courts.
I don't see that as resistance. I don't see that as some way to be a burr in the saddle of Trump. It's my job as Maine's Attorney General to stand up and fight for the rule of law.
Maine is already involved in a lawsuit against the Trump administration's efforts. A judge in Rhode Island has issued a temporary block to the freezing of funds in that case. Though Frey says the final ruling would apply to Maine, he's keeping the door open to other legal action if the federal government makes good on the president's words last week.
You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't.
Then we would evaluate whether or not we should go to court in order to promote federal state law.
Republicans in the legislature say the state should take a different tact with Trump.
He wants to negotiate or, learn where someone's coming from. And I felt that the governor's approach was irresponsible in the way that she approached the president.
State Representative Katrina Smith warning if Maine loses federal funding, the legislature's budget process could fall apart.
I think that we can't vote on a budget if we don't know if we're going to have federal funds or not.
As for the governor, after saying in a statement Friday the president is neither a king nor a dictator as much as this one tries to act like it, Mills declining to comment further on Monday.
Governor Mills, do you have any words you'd like to say?
And Frey says he's not aware of any new funding freezes since that fiery exchange between the governor and the president last week. In Augusta, Donovan Lynch, News Center, Maine.
Republicans are also pushing for state law on transgender participation in sports to get more in line with Trump's executive order. House Minority Leader Billy Bob Falkingham said in a statement, quote, "Protecting girls' sports is a top priority of legislative Republicans this session."